Guiding Questions by Kristen Wiesglas. The four guiding questions I have chosen to cover are: what are your big takeaways from this course? How do you view the use of literacy assessments? Why would you use literacy assessments? And how does what have you learned impact your pedagogy? The first question is: what are your big takeaways from this course? From week 1 to week 16, over the semester, I was able to take a deeper look in how to teach literacy, languages, and what certain aspects I should look for when planning a lesson in reading. Understanding Red 4331 was understanding literacy, language, and reading. In literacy, Professor Golding's first assessment was for us to explain our literacy development that I believe was the building block to what we were going to have to learn for the rest of the semester. Understanding language and its different forms, we also discovered how the forms of literacy like linguistics play a role in language systems. And in reading, learning about reading is learning on how to teach the roles of literacy and language to your students. I wanted to thank you, Professor Golding, because you gave me so many strategies and resources that I am so excited to use when I become an educator, and this class gave me an overall view of certain scenarios that might arise in my future classroom. The second language was: how do you view the use of literacy assessments? I thought it was important to define literacy and assessment separately before we can form them together. The definition of literacy is using different strategies to communicate and create different meaning, and the definition of assessment is a process that includes gathering qualitative and quantitative that is taking from the student's learning. This can be taught through many strategies like tests and work samples. Literary assessment is using different strategies to teach literacy and enhance student performance. The use of literacy assessment means having students understand that there are literacy in speaking, listening, reading, writing, and visually representing. It means to create a proper assessment by using different strategies like a fluency chart or reading practices to enhance phonological awareness. The third question is: why would you use literacy assessments? The importance of using literacy assessments is literacy will always be something that increases with time. It is a key tool that should be taught in many different ways and should be measured as an educator. An example is phonemic awareness. Phonemic awareness is extremely important in a person's life, and as an educator should be paid attention to a lot. The strategy should enhance principles like the alphabet, identifying words, and consonants. How does what you have learned impact your pedagogy? I always knew literacy was going to be important, but I never knew the importance of how much thought goes into it. I think about myself today and how I believe literacy is one of my strong points, and I think, well, how did I learn it? My pedagogy. I know when I get the privilege to walk into my classroom one day, I am going to be welcoming so many different students at all types of levels, and this course provided me so many ways to prepare for that. I not only learned from the textbooks, but overall from Professor Golding and the way she taught class, and provided so many tools to use when it comes to reading and learning difficult subjects like literacy. I want to adapt a teaching style like Professor Golding provided, and I know that there are so many different strategies and tools out there that will create an amazing classroom environment. Thank you for listening to my presentation.